Hello.
Ooh, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're coordinated.
I know we're matching. It's all
You're,
connected.
how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm back in the home office this evening.
Okay, right. So you're not giving us a tour. You're keeping it as
Yes, I have to gatekeep something.
okay. So listen, thanks for coming on this evening and talking to us.
You're so very welcome. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you because you are one of the most exciting young designers on the Irish interiors scene right now. Did you know
Sorry, I didn't get that. What was that? Sorry.
you are one of the So for anyone who doesn't know you, do you want to just tell us about you and how you ended up being Ireland's leading light in interior?
I need you to stay on this live forever because these are amazing.
Say no more.
Yeah, that's it. It's enough. It's enough. Well, my name is James, and I've had a very interesting journey to get to where I am now, and it's been very fun. I've met many people along the way who've helped me greatly.
You're
Um,
giving away, James.
sorry,
You're giving nothing away.
sorry. Well, where should I start?
Well, your interest in design. Um,
Mm.
well, I read on your website that it was from a very early age. You were into sewing and crafting and
Yes, well, I wanted to be a fashion designer at one point in my life when I was maybe 6 or 7, and we had an attic space above the house, and my mum had bought like a fairly cheap sewing machine, and no formal sewing lessons, but I still just tried to just put things together. I prefer the drawing and the designing of the clothes than the
right.
actual making of the clothes.
Thing at that age, like to have that kind of creative
Mm.
output, amazing.
I loved it. I thought it was so fun. I used to rewatch, like when singers would go on tour, they used to have these DVDs of their tours, and I
Yeah.
remember watching them and like drawing my own outfits that I'd have somewhere, because they're professional stylists, obviously do a great job.
And when did that move um to interior space?
Interiors. It was actually when we moved back into this house. It was the first time I was able to pick my own colors from my own room.
Right.
I found that process very exciting, and I remember we'd go to like the tile shops, pick tiles for the bathrooms, and my brother was with me at the time, and he'd want to go to, I don't know if you remember Extra Vision where they have all the games and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He'd want to go there, but I'd want to stay and pick the tiles. And we were like, "Come on, go off with them and go look at movies, whatever games." I'm like, "But I want to look at this. This is fun."
And so at that stage,
I must have been like 13, I think. Maybe
oh,
13. I know it's just going into first year in school, so it was around kind of 12, 13.
and was there anything in school? Was there, you know, the way it's all about sport, or school will be all about art or something. Was there anything that helped you along the way in terms of schooling and or TY or anything like that? That
Yeah, we had art class in secondary school, and I enjoyed that. We had DCG, which is Design and Communicational Graphics, and I actually won an award for my Leaving Cert project, all done the night before, I might add. And we had art in school. We done art outside of school as well. I done art drawings because I just wanted to do more. So I feel like I wouldn't say that kind of put me towards interior design. It just kind of, I suppose, expanded my creativity and kind of what I enjoyed to do.
and
Mm.
can you remember the first space other than your bedroom? Can you remember the first space that you designed for somebody else?
You mean a paid gig?
Yeah.
First, I do. It was actually a project in Achill, and it was a really lovely lady. She had a house um, the opposite end of the island, and she was doing up her living room, and she contacted me asking if I'd help. And that was very fun because it was the first time I was getting paid to actually
Oh.
pick like a sofa and colors and lighting and like design like the gallery wall and everything. And that was very fun. And I was hooked.
And you that how long ago was that? Was that
Oh God, that was a long time ago. That was must be almost 8 years ago now. It must be.
okay?
It was a
And
long time ago.
you've gone from that to launching your new studio.
I know, only 8 short years.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, I've have amazing help. Like Ruth Walsh has been extremely helpful with even getting me into a position where I can open up a studio. So, I'm not doing it alone. Like I've had lots of help to get me to this stage, and I think in this industry you have to be open to help. And I'm always one to ask questions and to
Mm,
find out information. And I think it's all very collaborative, and I enjoy that aspect of design because it isn't just like a I'm one singular person, it's me, but there's also like an army of people that have, along the way have helped me in some way. And I feel like that's how it's going to continue
mm.
in the future as well. Like even this conversation with you, like this is so amazing, and even hearing your experiences with the design industry, on our trip to Spain or Compostela del whatever. Hearing everyone's stories from that trip as well has been it's so formative. So I think
So we went, just to tell people who are listening, we were on a trip to Finza in um where was it? Santiago de Compostela, that's
that's it.
right.
Yes, I'm saying.
First time. So that was really it was great to meet a whole bunch of designers and trades and carpenters and joiners, and it was incredible. It was an incredible trip.
Amazing trip.
Yeah,
Exhausting, but amazing.
yeah. Tell us more about your studio, because it's like it's that's your kind of shop front for you and your brand and your business now, isn't it? That's your head.
Yeah. Well, it was very important. We recently got access to all these like beautiful, beautiful fabrics. So having like a space to actually hold all those fabrics was very important. And with interior design, like you're on site a lot of the time. So and like it's hard to, I suppose, fully develop like a consultation when there's wind blowing through one window and everyone's freezing and it's cold. So like I think it's very important to have a space that I can bring clients into. We can sit, have a cup of coffee, and actually take our time and review the drawings and get to know each other more.
Yeah.
Because it is a very much a collaborative process from initial meetings to actually constant development and creating a beautiful space for someone.
And the so your studio now, what was the design process for you? Was it the same kind of process as when you have a client? Did you
No,
take the
no time for that. No time for that. It's what's here. Let's get this done. It's a very much was on the back burner for a while because clients always take priority over everything. Um,
right?
so it was
Yeah,
kind of done in drips and drabs. Now it's not finished, and it won't be finished for a while because I really want to curate it and make it,
yeah,
special. And it's something that I always translate to my clients is that don't rush into anything. Like take your time and save and do it properly and do it once and that's it done.
yeah.
So I want to keep that same ethos in my own space, so when people come in that it's actually curated and there's some cool pieces. Like we have some lights from Mullen Lighting which are really beautiful. And then we have these gorgeous armchairs from Ventura. So we're curating pieces, but it'll take time, and I'm
Mm.
okay with that.
Yeah, yeah. So your brand, your style has a very kind of particular aesthetic already, hasn't it? It's very calm and clean. Everything is really considered and detailed.
It's so funny you should say that because I personally wouldn't, because I can't really identify my own style. I kind of just, when I'm working with a client, I take on their lifestyle and kind of their aesthetics, and we kind of mish them all together and create like a space.
Mm,
But when I look back, there is some sort of continuity with design features that have been quite prominent recently. And other designers have told me that there is a specific style that I have. I'd love to know what the name of that is, but we're slowly developing it.
the
Yeah,
JMC stuff.
ding, ding, ding.
When you were designing studio, were you aware of that? Like, how did you get space to show off that JMC style?
In my studio.
Yeah, like were there particular colors or materials that kind of, captured the identity of JMC Studios?
That's a very good question. I suppose with designing the studio space, like it's kind of pieces that I look and like that's fun, that's exciting, that makes me feel nice, and I feel like that's how, again, every space should be when you're designing your home is
Mm.
pieces within that space should feel like nice and exciting to look at and part of you. Like
Yeah,
I love textures, so we've incorporated obviously a lot of kind of like baskets and jute and things like that. But I also love like
yeah,
brass and more blingy things as well, like a bit more bougie. So
yeah,
there's those kind of aspects as well. And I
yeah.
do love something a bit more fun. So we are developing, some cool pieces of furniture in the next few months that
Wow.
will be going in, and they will have a bit more of my kind of, I suppose, style and aesthetic within them. And I'm excited to see that develop. But like, I enjoy the process of it.
Yeah,
I think I prefer the process more than seeing it actually finished because the process is so exciting.
because that's what you do. That's what you.
Yeah, it's true. And I have no deadlines because it's just
Yeah,
me.
that's been in mind.
Yes. Yeah,
And
I don't.
for me, because I work from home, I don't have a studio yet. Uh,
Yes. But
my
also, not
deadline,
everyone needs a studio, so
yeah. So if I'm too tidy on my desk, if I can't see everything laid out, I get any work done. It's like I need it to be out around me to inspire me or something.
yeah.
So your new studio now, is there like a different sort of creative workflow compared to your
Mhm.
previous setup, or does that matter?
Definitely a completely different, I suppose, creative process and even process in general. At home, I'm even going to pan over to show you this desk here because it's just paper, magazines, brochures, everything just stacked
Yeah,
because I like to just grab and what I
yeah,
need. But
yeah.
in the studio, we're trying to have more storage space so that everything has a place to go back to. And I must say, because when I'm in the studio, I don't know what happens energetically, but I feel like I get a lot more calls and a lot more, in-person visits and a lot more, admin when I'm there. Whereas I thought I'd have more time to actually pull out the fabric books and design when I'm there.
Okay,
Um, so that's been, I haven't, I suppose,
won't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
we're still working at the kinks from the processing and how we're using the space, but I'm enjoying it.
And I believe your location is amazing in the middle
Oh,
of
it's
West
in
Town.
my favorite town ever. It's Westport. It's beautiful. I've done a lot of work in Westport. Everything's walking distance. They have beautiful coffee shops, beautiful restaurants. So if I get peckish after work, I have a beautiful restaurant just across the road. I have loads to choose from just up the street. It's amazing, and I have a great company around me as well. And everyone in the town is so supportive and excited as well. So it's been just phenomenal.
And
Mm.
your roots are in the West, aren't they?
Sorry,
Your roots, you're from that we I was
I'm from the furthest west.
for
Ackle Island,
West,
yes.
as west as you can go.
Yes.
So I guess that kind of comes through in your design as well, in your design sensibility, doesn't it?
Mm.
That
I suppose like the texture and like I suppose that natural element. Like I do love a space to feel grounded in a way. But I do love a bit of fun as well. But I do love like, that natural like texture.
yeah.
Mm.
So JMC Studios,
Yeah. Yes.
that it feels like this isn't just about the space and a new office. It sounds like it's another step in your journey. I hate that journey thing. That
Yeah.
the designer. So
Mm.
do you see this as like the next chapter of JMC Studios?
It's so funny. I was having this exact conversation with my brother going up in the car this morning, and
Really?
I was just saying like how it feels so surreal to have like a space, but like this is just like a stepping stone to like the next thing. Because there's so much like that I want to do within my professional career. Like so much. I'm not going to scare anyone watching this now with what I wanted to do, but it's just like I suppose the next evolution of what we're creating, and it's exciting to see it all come to like manifest.
It's
Oh, there's
exciting.
some good just messages in the little chat. That's so cool. You can see that.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Your studio is based in the West. You don't just cover the West, you cover the whole of Ireland for your design, right?
Yes, well, I'm young, I have a car, I drive, so I never refuse work. My mother bred that into me from a very young age. I just always say yes. So I do travel. We do work in Dublin. We do a lot of work in Galway and Sligo and
Right.
like Namara and those locations. We actually recently done a project in Clare. We done a project in Antrim before. So that's now a bit of a trek. I won't
Yeah.
be rushing up there. um, yeah, but I like to, I enjoy traveling and I get to see new locations and new surroundings and new settings. So it's I do enjoy going to different locations.
So what one of the things on your website, one of the lines that kind of stuck with me because I totally agree with the philosophy is that you don't design show homes, you design homes for real people.
Mm.
Um,
Yes.
and what does that mean in terms of your approach to design, I suppose?
Mm.
How does that manifest itself in your
But
work?
I suppose from that sentence, what I mean is like I feel like sometimes when you see a beautifully done home, like it's hard to almost like when you have that very matchy like matchy furniture, like matchy couch, matchy ottoman, matching curtains, matching cushions, like it's all very it's too
Yeah, yeah.
um there's no soul. There's no like almost like, oh well, what's the story behind the person's life? Like I love when you're working with a client because you are designing someone else's space. I enjoy the process of sitting down and getting to know that person and finding out ins and outs and how they live and what they like. And it's so funny like as a project will develop what new information you'll discover. And I find even just at the consultation, it might even be about the design that we're talking about. It might be like a trip they done recently to Spain and they saw this one thing that they fell in love with. And they've also gathered like items over the past few years, like bowls and dishes and things like that, that really kind of showcase what they're actually drawn to. Because sometimes I feel like when like we have to remember that we do this all the time. So we're always looking at new inspiration and new things and designing. Whereas when someone's doing their home for the first time, they're going to Pinterest and they're seeing what's there and it's like, oh I like that, I like that. And it's all beautiful, but like it's not them, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So it's designing for them. And I like at the end of a project when you see your client sitting in their bedroom or their kitchen or their bathroom or their hallway and like you almost see reflections of them
Mm.
throughout it and like you see how excited they are being in it and like touching everything and everything means something. And that's what I mean by designing for people and
Oh,
not for just a show home.
not about what's trendy. It's more about what will work for them long
Yeah,
term.
what resonates, like what connects, and I think that's a very exciting process because you get to peek behind the curtain a bit and really get to know someone. And I enjoy that part of this job. It makes finishing a project hard because you're almost like saying goodbye for now, even though you feel like you're like almost best friends.
Yeah, everything that they like your signature style and your identity is so strong.
Mm.
And like your portfolio and your website, it shows that you have a really strong sense of color and um materiality and detailing, custom detailing, that kind of thing. Do you think sometimes it's hard to get clients to come on the JMC bus with you? You think?
Early on, yes. Early
Yeah.
on, yes, for sure. It was hard to kind of convince someone that, no, trust me, this will look nice. But as the more work you do and the more work you showcase, like I have a lot of clients that would come to me through Instagram and through my website, and they would have chosen me because of those specific details that I've chosen. And they like that it's a bit different, but it's not, you know, way out there that like they couldn't see it in their own home, and they like the bit of whimsy and something a bit more exciting. So I do think yes, at the beginning of my career for sure, it was hard to get people to hop on the JMC Express, but now no, like it's easy to sell a concept when there's proof behind it.
You say on your website as well, work with us. You seem to really enjoy that collaborative process with your clients.
Keep on your research.
So,
It was my birth chart in there as well. What
so
was the question? Sorry.
well, you just you enjoy that collaboration with your clients.
Yes, well, it's their home, so I feel like it's now there's some projects where you are kind of at the keys and you kind of just do your own thing. Yes, but I do prefer the projects where you get to connect and like share experiences and collaborate on picking the tiles and, show them a few options, and you start to people get become plateful, I think, and I think it's exciting to see some space light up and they're like, oh, I love that, but that's exciting, and let's do that, or let's do it. It's fun.
Yeah. Often in the design process, you could be like heading down one road, then for whatever reason, you spot something that you know your client would really love, and you end up going in a different
Yes, yeah.
direction. So the brief sometimes has to shape shift and evolve and change, because of maybe budgets or the client
Mhm.
change their mind during the process. That is that difficult for you to kind of get your head around?
See, it never strays too far from the original, I suppose, concept. And we spend a lot of time developing the concept to make sure that upon the first presentation of that concept, that it's fairly,
Yeah,
locked in.
yeah,
And this might sound really woo-woo,
yeah,
but I find the house really tells what it needs sometimes. So when you're designing, like, let's say, for example, a kitchen, and it's like a renovation project, I find that no matter what, how many inspiration images you look at, or kind of this is the direction we're going to go in, like the house really dictates what gets done. So I kind of just go in with no inspiration and just create and spend a lot of time, pulling out things and moving things and tweaking and seeing what works and what doesn't work.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I then present that, and then it never really strays from that. There's ways to kind of cut back and save in certain aspects, but the original design intent, whatever the word is, sticks, which is good.
Yeah. Having the client at the forefront of the design you do as well means that you're always checking them, so no one will end up being like surprised by the final result, so that they'll do
Yeah,
you at each stage.
yeah. Well, I feel like the client has to be at the forefront of the design because they're the one paying your fee and also the one paying for everything that's going to be going in. So I think that's very important that they're consulted on every aspect of it. Now, there's obviously some things you mightn't share. If a trade is late showing up on time or, something got missed, you kind of just do in the background and it's all perfect.
It's hard to strike a balance though, isn't it? Sometimes, something that looks stunning, but it also, has to work for the everyday. Is that something that you find a challenge, to create that wow aesthetic,
Mm.
and yet something that's livable and practical, to for the customer to live in every day? Is that a hard balance to strike?
It's very interesting that because I feel like every person is so different with what they would deem as impractical or practical. Like depending on if they have dogs or kids or what age the person is, really dictates what's considered practical. Like someone if they're like, it depends. There's always a compromise. Like if you really want to put something that's ooh wow amazing, there's always a way to get it done without compromising on practicality. Because like no matter how lovely the design is, if it doesn't function for the person that's going to be using it, it's worthless and it's a waste of time. So I think yeah, it has to function practically, but there's ways to make it look, you know, ooh that's gorgeous, that's cool. I never thought of that. That's a fabulous detail.
Yeah. And is that success to you, or how do you define success?
Within projects.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
when a project has been successful, is it through client feedback or?
yeah, when the client walks in and is like, oh my God, this is exactly what I wanted, and it was worth the time, it was worth the money, and it was worth everything to do this, that's the most important thing. I could love it, and I could think, oh my God, this is gorgeous. But if the person who it's been done for doesn't love it and isn't happy, then that's an unsuccessful project.
Hmm.
Now, it hasn't happened yet, and I hope it never happens, but when it's finished, the client's always like really happy.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a situation where you might have big ideas for a client or a project, but maybe the ambitions might have been out of reach for the client, and
Budget
unfortunately
wise.
budgets and real world constraints can sometimes get in the way? How do
Mhm.
you how do you navigate that, or do you just?
Yeah, I'm really stubborn. So when I get do a design and it is coming out of a budget, I'm going to find a way to get that done for a budget when I'm going back to the fabricator of whatever it is we're making, and I'm negotiating back and forth with ways we can bring it down. Whether it's me, you know,
Mm.
putting something towards it or something, like I'm always going to find a way to like, and a lot of companies will have like trade discounts and, you know, commission based things for designers. Like that's the first thing to go, if it is over budget and we're showing it off.
James, that's you.
Yeah. Well, listen, I like it to get it done like nice. Like I prefer the end design to be wow and beautiful. And
Okay.
if I can,
That work be bespoke, a lot of bespoke.
I bespoke. Yeah, I rarely now would buy something, unless it's like a side table or something. Like I'm always going down the bespoke route
Right.
recently. Just because we have access to so much now, and I suppose our client base is at a point where it is more bespoke, and I feel like that's where you can really, you know, get into the chunkiness of it and create something beautiful. Like we have some gorgeous products on at the moment that like everything's bespoke, like down from the sofas to the rugs to everything, and it's
Wow.
been fun to like get in and create those and design those and choose those fabrics, and it's fun. I find that way more exciting because you're actually designing a full space, and you have it's like going back to fashion design when you have like your pattern done for your top or your dress, and then you're picking the fabric and the trimmings and everything that goes along with it to create it like a look. That's kind of what that aspect of is creating everything bespoke. Is just creating everything, you know,
You
beautiful. Like
more control as well, then, don't
yes, like even into the size of the sofa to make sure that it fits like just perfectly, you know.
you? And your website, again, going back to your website, it talks about down to the placement of the sockets and everything. Your attention to detail is really an important part of what you do.
Yeah, but that comes with
There,
experience. It does. Mm,
client, aren't we? It's
mm,
like
mm,
it's up to you as the designer to consider all those
mm.
details you can get into the.
100%. You almost have to walk through the space and be like, okay, if I'm cooking in here or I'm walking through here, where am I plugging the Hoover into? Well, I want to put a Christmas tree here. You know, like there's all those aspects, and where's the closest plug if I'm charging my phone, or say if I have kids in 5 years' time, like where are they going to do their little iPad time? Is there a plug to charge the iPad? Like, you know, it's you have to kind of consider everything and how you move through the space. But that's like I wouldn't find that part as exciting. Like that's kind of just part of the journey. Like that's the practical side of it. I
Yeah,
much prefer the more fun and unpractical side of designing.
I know. Sometimes that um, design intent can go out the window a bit. You know, once the contractors come in, and you know, sometimes you have to be there very early at the table in terms of the technical coordination of all that kind of stuff, making sure that you can have the sockets exactly where you want them. Or
Even like wall lights, like if you're brought into a project that the wiring's already done for and they want you to design like a whole home now, it's like, well, you're really limited to what you can actually do because all the wiring's done, so you kind of have to
mm,
almost work with what's already there. And I wouldn't take on a project like that because there's no really point because you're kind of just decorating then, you're not like designing.
right.
So I would say get us in at the end and we can help you pick colors and fabrics and all that, but we're not actually wasting your time and your money with us designing concepts for a whole home that you can't actually, you know, develop really a lot.
Wow.
Hmm.
I'm learning loads from you, James.
Well, this is me paying you back because I learned so much from you. So,
Clear trends. The interior design world evolves very fast. Well, here in Dublin, anyway. So, what's going on down in Mayo? Are there any trends or innovations that you see at the moment that you love or that really excite you as a designer?
you know, there's actually no like I don't really keep up with trends. I feel like it's important to be aware of what's kind of coming in and what's new. But to be honest, at the moment, like my eyes are so I like rose tinted glasses on the whole time. Like, well, I like that and I like this and like that. I'm not really looking at what's everyone else is liking, if that makes sense.
Okay, right.
Um, because I'm kind of learning as I go on is that it doesn't really matter what's in. Like it just means that those items will be more accessible, which means that if you were designing a project and it was a bit more budget conscious, it's going to be easier to source something like that. Whereas if you don't need to look at that, then you don't need to look at that. Like say for like mid-century is easy to find. Like if you're looking for a side table, you're going to find a mid-century side table, no problems, in any price point. Whereas if you look at what's coming in now, like it's more expensive now, but like in a year's time, those items will be just readily available and it'll be so easy to interject it. It's like brass, the color brass, like for fixtures.
Yeah.
Before that became trendy, it was so hard to get like a brass tap and brass knobs and for everything to match. Whereas now you go into any plumbing shop and you can get brass shower heads and it's so easy to get, whereas it wasn't before.
I always love hearing about people's specific projects that they're working on. Is there anything that you've been working on recently that you're particularly proud of? Anything particularly challenging or changed your approach to how you work?
There was one project recently that changed my approach to the development of a design, and I suppose the background work before we even start designing, like more kind of, I suppose, like a mm, curations of documents to show how we work and kind of what to expect, and making sure that everything is like read through and signed, and just everyone knows what's happening, and then also more realistic timeframes for developing concepts because I don't like to be rushed. I like to take my time and actually design. And I feel like people assume that that doesn't take long, but it takes a couple of months for me to like fully develop a concept and then go into like the documentation phase. So we have kind of set up more realistic goalposts now for projects so that if you are coming to us, we can make sure that we can actually fit in with your timeline because every pot one has their own kind of timeline. If it's a new build, we're in by March, we need it done by then. That probably won't work because we need until January to kind of finish the concepts, and then we need another 2 months to actually develop the documentation. That's not even including tendering or ordering or anything yet. So like that kind of would be something I've learned recently. But we're working on some very exciting projects, and every project I'm excited about. If that makes sense, there's no
Right.
project that I'm like, okay, we'll get through this and we'll move on. Like every project I'm like excited to work on, and it's fun at the moment because like we have like Rachel who does our project coordinating, and then we have two students working with us at the moment. So it's fun, kind of almost working alongside their brains and seeing what they're coming up with and what they're excited about. Um, and it's just very exciting. Some really cool things coming up.
And as a younger designer yourself, you're part of the new wave, I suppose, of interior design in Ireland. Did you know that?
I didn't. I'm young. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So what advice to other young interior designers looking to establish themselves, or indeed designers?
I suppose the biggest thing I've learned this year is it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that's been a real learning curve for me because I just always assumed that if you just keep working at it,
Hmm.
opportunities will come, but you have to actually put yourself out there and meet people and talk to people and meet other people within the industry and hear from them and what they do and how they would do it differently and just soak up as much as you can. And I don't think anyone's ever too experienced or it far into their career to ever be like I know everything because we don't, and there's always some little nugget of information that is going to resonate and make you be like, oh, never thought of it from that perspective before. I'm going to start to maybe adapt that into my own little practice. um, so definitely put yourself out there and get to know people within the industry, and also you meet so many amazing people like friends,
Yeah.
and get to hear so many fun stories. And then also, um, if you're wanting to pursue something on your own, just be prepared for like a lot of hard work, but like very little reward. But eventually your roses will come, and they'll come slowly, but just don't expect things to happen like that.
Just the 8 years.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And to the end of 2025 and we look towards 2026. I know you have big plans for JMC. I'm sure you do. What does the future hold, or can you tell us?
What does the future hold? I mean, at the moment, I'm just in a black hole, just looking at whatever's here, whatever is happening around. I'm like, la la la, until Christmas is over, and then I'll probably start planning again. But I would love to get into furniture, like making my own furniture, and things like that. But I don't know how I'm going to finance that just yet. But I would love to get into that. Maybe soft furnishings first, and then go into like kind of furniture. But I'd love to make a more whole, like kind of brand of things, like where it's not just our services, but like there's other aspects
Hmm.
to it as well. Because when I came up with the JMC Studios, the plan was that it was going to be like a kind of I suppose an umbrella company, and then there's going to be other little companies below it.
Very
Um, how that will work yet, I don't really know, but I'm not there yet. I'm just tunnel vision.
one one step at a time.
Yes, I've learned that as well. Do one thing at a time. Don't try to take on too much.
Well, James, I've had a brilliant half an hour chatting with you, just over half an hour. And I think everybody else who's been listening in will have really enjoyed
I
listening
hope so. No
your
one
work.
is like tapped off. This is boring.
So you're so kind of collaborative and thoughtful about every aspect of your job. And I love that confidence that you have that you're not going to rush it. You're going to take your time and you're going to do each project, perfectly. So that's really important because there does feel sometimes like you're on a treadmill. You got to get things done. Everybody's in a hurry. Everybody
Mhm.
wants it done by Christmas. So
Yeah,
the fact that
we
you're
have a
going.
few. Yeah, we have a few that have to get done by Christmas that were like on the last minute, like, oh.
So for anybody who wants to know more about you, where can they find you? What's your email
You
or
can reach me
sorry,
at, sorry?
your website? I meant.
Sorry, it's just yeah. My email is and my PPS number if anyone wants to know. It's so my website is just jmcstudios.ie, and you can go on and you can book a discovery call or look through our portfolio, see a bit more about us, and then we're most active on Instagram. I love Instagram. Oh my God, I love creating the content. I think it's so fun. That's such a fun section of this industry. I think is the social media aspect of it.
Yeah, that's where we part ways.
You don't love it?
Yeah, it's it's hard. It's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job, yes. Yes, it is.
Um, what's your Instagram handle so people can find you?
It's JMC Studios Ltd.
Great.
Very
Okay,
easy.
brilliant. Okay, well, thanks, James.
Thank you so much, Dawn, for such a fabulous evening. What a way to end a Tuesday.
Cheers. Back to work tomorrow.
Yes, back to work now.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.